What is going on, people? It's your boy back with some more gameplay. I'm playing the Ultimate Cup in this matchup. Over on the right, my opponent is going to be playing Green Hybrid, and I am playing one of my favorite decks, Wargrey X. Opponent is going to start with the Green Memory Boost for the Terriermon. So this is a pretty much pure Green Hybrid build, similar to the one that I think it topped an Evo or won an Evo Cup or an Ulti Cup like a couple months ago, I want to say. The really weird green hybrid list from EX2. But anyways, I'm just going to start with an Agumon in the back plus the tie to put my opponent to 1 as well as guarantee me that 3 memory. So pretty solid opening play. He's going to respond by just playing his JP. Definitely strong, can go into the Beetle as well as the Metal Kabuterimon following turn. I'm just going to hit him with a red memory boost, grabbing the Wargreymon X. Unfortunately, Omnimon going to the bottom, but that's okay. I also revealed an Agumon X. I think I had one in my hand at this point, so I didn't need a second one. And there we see the Agu X. So I'm just going to Digivolve for 0, and then going to Greymon for 2 to draw some more cards, potentially being able to push out within the next turn or two. And that's the thing about the deck, is that it does require a little bit of setup. Hence why I'm playing so many consistency cards. Beetlemon is going to evolve over JP, of course, for the reduced cost of 1, revealing the top 5, getting to reveal the 5 cards from the top of the deck, and adding a green tamer, JP rather, plus a hybrid Digimon, but of course none were revealed, so unfortunately that's just going to whiff and go to the bottom of the deck. But we've still got a Beetlemon, Piercing inherited from the JP, of course, as well. Could possibly go into a Rhino here for a cost of 1. Rhino does cost 3, but he reduces his evolution cost to 1, basically, if you're evolving over a tamer or a hybrid. Forget which one, but the card will be on screen. So going to do that for 1, and then just going to swing into security, not using the 1 attacking effect, and then we're just going to run into the Wargreymon in security. Unfortunate for my opponent. Rhino's going to die, and then we're just going to see Ken hit the board for a cost of 4. Putting me to 4, so definitely a lot of memory to work with, but I'm just going to wait a little bit longer. Revealing the Cool Boy, grabbing the Greymon X is definitely really strong, because I can trigger the Cool Boy within the next turn to get the extra memory and extra draw. I'm going to then pop the memory boost, playing the Agumon X, revealing the Wargreymon X. I think I was digging for an X antibody at this point. That's probably the only piece I'm missing from my hand. And then we're just going to reveal the top 4. Unfortunately, revealing an X antibody, but then just grabbing an Agumon off of the reveal. I'm pretty sure I have every other piece in my hand. Terriermon is going to push out, which is definitely a little bit annoying, because that'll prevent me from using my memory boost. But instead, we're just going to see Rapidmon, of course, evolved for the 3 cost, a minus 5,000 to the Agumon X, and then just swinging into security, also drawing off of the Gummymon, of course, since the Agu X was suspended. Living the security check and armor purge is definitely a little bit annoying for my deck to deal with, but it's okay. That's totally fine. I'm fine with the Rapidmon being on the field. And then we're just going to see Izzy for a cost of 2. I'll start with 3. Greymon X is going to evolve on top of Greymon for 0. Cool Boy will then trigger to gain me the extra draw plus the memory plus 1. And then going to go into Alterius mode. It does delete a 5,000 or lower Digimon on evolve if you've got a tamer. Of course, Rapidmon being 6 is going to be out of the threshold just a little bit. Then we're going to go X Antibody Metal Greymon for a cost of 0, since the Alterius mode is treated as Metal Grey. And then, of course, finally drew into the X Antibody. Swinging at security, Wargreymon X will be evolved, and then checking a total of 4 cards from the Tai Greymon, Metal Greymon X, and then gaining a memory off of each. A lost security, and then end of attack deleting the Rapidmon. Of course, the Wargreymon X does beat over the Ancient Troy and stuff, because it is plus 3,000 from the Metal Greymon, and then I think we got some inherited effects there as well. And then, so we are going to potentially try to pop the memory boost, but of course, Terriermon being on the field will stop it. It's a little bit ironic that he had the Terriermon, which can also put a stop to Wargreymon X's memory gain, but since it was underneath the Terriermon at the point, like before, it didn't really affect me. And I'm just going to play an Agumon for a cost of 3, revealing some top 3 cards and grabbing another Greymon to my hand. Terriermon is going to be evolved in the back. Definitely got the potential to go into a couple of hybrids here. If my opponent has a triple hybrid, he could definitely steal the game, because he could swing Terriermon, pop the memory boost, go to 5, and then if he's got 2 hybrids and then evolve 1 on JP. JP reduces the cost by 1, so he would evolve for 2 on top of Ken, 2 on top of Izzy, and 1 on top of the JP here. That could definitely close it out. But we're just going to see Metal Kabuterimon for a cost of 1, suspending the Agumon since it wasn't evolved on top of JP. Gaining the memory back, which is totally fine by me because that puts me out of the range of lethal. Gaining a memory off of the Gummy, or sorry, rather, drawing a card off the Gummymon since a Digimon was suspended. Going to Metal Kabuterimon number 2 here. Definitely not the most ideal, but I think he's maybe digging for an Ancient Beetle play, maybe because he didn't have enough level 4 hybrids to go for game. Not sure about that one, but we're just going to see Rhino for a cost of 1. And then we see the Ancient Beetle in hand there, so can potentially swing over the Agumon. Recall that the Wargreymon X is 15,000 right now, so he won't be able to swing over it with the Ancient Beetle. Don't have battle protection, but of course I'm just really big. Green Memory Boost is going to be popped to go back on up to 3. And then Rhino can definitely do the Wombo combo here. Swing when attacking, Digivolve into an Insectoid or Ancient Insect for a cost of 3. Trashing a security card since we were destroyed by battle. And then Piercing from the JP, hitting the Metal Greymon. Possibly being able to gain off of the Ken if he would choose to do so, because we did destroy a Digimon with battle, so going to do that. Going on up to 1 once more. But don't think he can out the Wargreymon stack. We do see the Grandel Soul here, unbeknownst to my opponent, or perhaps maybe you didn't understand quite the interaction. Grandel Soul is going to hit the board, of course, but Wargreymon X does have the protection from Greymon X. If it would to be bottom deck, you can just attach 2 of the same level material from it instead. So basically going to prevent that from happening. And now I'm sitting back with a Wargreymon. Of course, my opponent does have 1 security, and I did not have the Blitz Omni in my hand at this point, so not able to go for game in that sense, but I am going to just start to dig more cards because there is another card that can definitely close out this game, guys, and you're going to see that in just a second. Wargreymon X is going to swing security. X Antibody will then let you Digivolve into the Omnimon X Antibody, and then when Digivolving, bottom decking the highest level Digimon, so getting rid of the Ancient Beetle. Not floating is really broken. And then on Digivolve, we get to bottom the X Antibody to then trash our opponent's security card and then close out the game with that 1 swing. So it is going to be really powerful in that sense. So another way to go for game. That's going to be game number 1. Game number 2, our opponent is going to start with the Bokomon revealing the Beetle, putting the rest at the bottom, and then revealing a Samadhi Santi as well as a Grandel Soul 2 Terriermons. My opponent was actually talking about having Samadhi Santi in his hand at the previous point, so he was asking, well, I could have Samadhi Santi'd your Wargrey X so that he couldn't have unsuspended. I'll have the card on screen here, guys, but the way this card actually works is that the Digimon has to be suspended via the effect of Samadhi Santi. So my Wargreymon X was already suspended. So in the scenario where instead of Grandel Soul he activated Samadhi Santi, it wouldn't have frozen the Wargrey because it was already suspended prior to the activation. So it's a little bit a wording difference versus something like Dino Beamon or Mega Gargo, so just something to keep in mind. But anyways, after the Bokomon, I'm just going to go ahead and Digivolve Agu. Playing the Cool Boy and getting the +2 definitely feels nice. And then I'm going to follow that up with an Agumon revealing the top 3, grabbing the Metal Greymon X, putting some cards at the bottom of the deck, putting our opponent to 2. Definitely in a solid starting position, but of course we're going to need to see those level 4s before we go on up into our boss monster. JP is just going to hit the board for a cost of 3. Effectively getting him that +1 memory and free evolve the next turn if he does evolve. Agumon is just going to swing because I fear the Metal Kabuterimon, and I'm just going to put him down to 1. Cool Boy, again, revealing some Omnis and some non-X antibody cards, so just going to bottom deck the rest of those, putting the opponent to 1. But the thing about Green Hybrid is that they can still play very efficiently with 1 memory, so going to evolve for 1 and then gaining 2 off Boko, revealing top 5 once again, grabbing the JP plus the Rhino Kabuterimon is really strong. We're going to evolve the Rhino Kabuterimon for a cost of 1 here, going down to 1, and do we have the Ancient Beetlemon? We are potentially going to swing, but of course last time, if he doesn't have the Ancient, it's possible his guy might die. He is going to just swing anyways and not evolve into the level 6 and hitting an Agumon, so definitely lucky that he survived, and then just putting me to 1 with the Izzy effect, or the Izzy on play, just costing 2 there. I'm just going to reveal 4 with the red memory boost, grabbing probably one of those level 4s there is one of the pieces I'm missing, but I could definitely get the BT1 Wargrey as well. I am actually just going to grab the Greymon. So now, if you guys recall, I've searched the Greymon, Metal Grey X, and Wargrey X, so I should have pretty much the whole line in my hand at this point. Now it's just a matter of when do I want to push out and go crazy. Terriermon is going to be evolved in the back 4-0, and then Boko is going to swing into another red memory boost, effectively putting me to plus 4 memory off the memory boost and then plus 2 more off the cool boy. So basically I'm going to go bananas next turn and be able to evolve whatever I want. And then we are going to see the Shivamon evolved off the Rhino, which is a really powerful play, unfortunately dying to the Wargreymon X. If Shivamon had lived, it would have prevented me from going into the X antibody because I won't be able to play options while all my opponent's Digimon are suspended. So that would have been really unfortunate. I could have outed it, but I would have had to attack over it, and I'm not sure I had the piercing Metal Grey in my hand at that point. So definitely really unfortunate on my opponent's part. Just going to evolve Greymon for 2, popping both the memory boost to go on up to 4, digivolving the Alterius mode for 3, popping the Pokemon since I do have the Tamer in play, and then going to go Metal Greymon X for a cost of 0, triggering both Cool Boys to gain 2 memory, drawing 2 cards, going on up to 3. And then, of course, gaining the Sec Attack +1 and plus 3000 DP off of the Metal Greymon effect. Really strong stuff there. Playing the X antibody and then swinging into security. Wargreymon X for a cost of 4, checking a total of 3 cards after each check. I am going to gain back a memory, and then of course he is bigger than the Ancient Troy. JP is going to be played, and then Ancient Beetle and Troy are going to go to the trash. Going back to 2, nothing on my opponent's side of the field to be able to delete, but then I'm just going to go Omnimon for a cost of 4, unsuspend, blitz, and then after that, on attack, I'm just going to be able to go into OmniX once again, looking at the last security card and trashing it to close out the game once the attack connects. So guys, that is going to be the match. Hopefully you enjoyed that one. I thought this was a pretty cool showcase of the strength of Wargreymon X, and Green Hybrid is another deck I'm a big fan of, so that was fun to play against as well. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.